Hi friends, this is Preeti. Today I am going to discuss about glycosides. Glycosides are the compounds which contain both glycone part and aglycone part connected by glycosidic linkage. Okay, they are classified into 4 types: C glycoside, O glycoside, S glycoside and N glycoside. So C glycoside are formed by the oxidative hydrolysis with FeCl3. Okay, here we can see the glycosidic linkage is formed by the interaction between the hydroxy group of glycone part and hydrogen group of aglycone part. Okay, then it leads to the elimination of these water molecule, which results in the formation of a glycosidic linkage. So the examples are anthraquinone glycosides, which include cascarosides and aloin, and some members of flavone glycosides, and carbonic acid, which is a C glycoside present in cochineal. It is a coloring matter. Carbonic acid is a coloring matter. So the natural coloring agent we can say is cochineal is a natural coloring agent. So these O glycosides are formed by the hydrolysis by treatment of acid or alkali. Here the examples are senna, rhubarb, frangula and cascarosides. And S glycosides, the examples are isocyanate glycosides, which includes sinigrin obtained from a black mustard, and N glycosides, it includes nucleosides. So the next, glycosides, which are obtained from plants and animals, they are hydrolyzed by acid or enzymatic hydrolysis into glycone and aglycone part. Okay. First we will study about the glycone part. This glycone part helps in the solubilization, distribution and transportation of aglycone moiety to its site of action, but it does not involve any production of therapeutic activity. Okay, just it helps in the transportation of this aglycone. Okay, the monosaccharides means monosaccharides like galactose, mannose and rhamnose means these are nothing but a sugar part. The sugar part of any glycoside can be galactose, mannose, rhamnose, etc. But the cardiac glycosides contain sugar part as a digitoxose and cymerose. Okay. Next, aglycone part. This is a hydrogen of aglycone. Okay, this is not hydroxy, it is hydrogen. It can be, the aglycone part can be alcoholic, phenolic or amine. So here we can see in cardiac glycosides, here CH, this is the aglycone. Here it is OH and here it is SH, here it is NH, like that, amine, phenol and alcohol. Okay, this part shows the physical and chemical and therapeutic activity. And next we come to the properties of glycosides. They are colorless, crystalline, amorphous compounds. All are colorless except flavone glycosides, which are yellow, and anthraquinone, which are red. And example of crystalline is bitter almond. And amorphous is quillia. So many are there, just I have written here some examples. Okay, and they are soluble in water and dilute alcohol except resin glycosides. They are insoluble in organic solvents like chloroform and ether, but the aglycone part is soluble in organic solvents like benzene and ether. Okay, they are easily hydrolyzed by water, mineral acids and enzymes, and also they show optical activity. All the compounds show levorotatory. Okay, but in alkaloids except 2 compounds remaining all show levorotatory. So these compounds do not reduce Fehling solution until they are hydrolyzed. Okay, they participate in these glycosides participate in the growth regulation and also protection of a plant. So these are the properties. And next we come to the extraction. So here also the extraction process is done by Stas-Otto method. Okay. So in this process, the powdered glycoside is extracted by continuous hot percolation using Soxhlet apparatus with alcohol as a solvent. So in this, the temperature maintained is less than 45 degrees centigrade. So what is this Soxhlet apparatus and what is percolation? So we'll study here. This is nothing but a Soxhlet apparatus. Okay, so here what happens is the solvent, which is alcohol, is taken in this round bottom flask firstly, and then the sample is placed in this. Okay, here you can see this is also called as a thimble. Okay, the sample is packed in a thimble and it is placed here. Okay, nothing but a glycoside powder is placed here, and we have taken the organic solvent alcohol here. Now we have to start heating. Okay, and the temperature should be less than 45 degrees centigrade. So what happens if we start heating? This solvent get evaporates, it goes through into this condenser, it cools down, and the liquid droplets are fall into this thimble, this glycoside powder. So when this the process continues, okay, as the process continues, when this thimble is filled with this liquid droplets, after filling, what happens? There is an overflow. So after total filling of this thimble, there is an overflow. So here you can see it is filling and then it is going, it gets overflow, and it again comes back to the round bottom flask. So here what is happening? There is a percolation is happening here. Percolation is nothing but a filtration, nothing but the constituents which are present in the glycoside powder are getting extracted into this condensed droplets, and they are again going back into this round bottom flask. Okay, so this process continues like this, and we get the active components into this round bottom flask. Okay, so what is the advantages of this process? The aqueous solvent is recycling many times, so there is no wastage of the solvent, no need to take a fresh solvent. Okay, so after collecting into this, we have to collect this extract, then we have to add lead acetate to this extract. Then what happens? It precipitates the tannins. We have to collect only glycosides, we don't want tannins, so it precipitates the tannins, and the excess lead acetate is removed by passing a hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay, when we pass hydrogen sulfide gas, the excess lead acetate is removed as a lead sulfide. The lead sulfide get precipitated. Okay, then the remaining extract is filtered and concentrated to get a crude glycosides. So Soxhlet extraction is used when the compound which we are going to extract is if it has a low solubility in the solvent, and also the impurities should be insoluble in that solvent, then only this method is used. So after the collection of this crude glycosides, they are subjected to crystallization and chromatographic techniques to get more pure forms. As we have seen in alkaloids, there are 4 methods for purification: steam distillation, crystallization, gradient pH method, and chromatography. Like that in glycosides also there are methods like fraction solubility, fractional crystallization, and chromatographic techniques. Okay, so this is the classification and properties of glycosides. In this also the examples are very important, like which comes under C glycosides, which come under O, S, and N, like that. So that's it. Let's meet in the next video with tannins. Thank you so much for watching my video.